We're back after the last 2 weeks off. Banks versus Davis. Thank y'all for joining. As always, we appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that. Banks, you wanted to kick it off with what you think is the biggest topic of the week so far, NFL free agency, particular Derrick Henry joining Baltimore. And I'm just going to let you go right now.
Well, first of all, sorry for the delay. I know we've been off for 2 weeks, long overdue for an episode, but again, life is lifing, and we're always consistent for the most part. So
I was on vacation, and then last week we just didn't have the time to. But stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff planned coming up, either multiple episodes or us doing some solo work in between episodes. I'm kind of planning some stuff. So we're brainstorming here at Banks versus Davis. So we're not just ditching y'all completely. So
no, I had to. How do you say work? I was on 3 hours of sleep a day, so for a week straight. So yeah, I got to go get this money. How else do you think this stuff gets funded?
speaking of getting funded,
Okay,
and again, NFL free agency.
Kirk Cousins. That's how we started off.
Guys are getting paid, but Derrick Henry, you were the one. You want to kick off with this because you think if Baltimore doesn't win this upcoming season, what's the point?
Absolutely. Of course, it's an older Derrick Henry, but we're running. First of all, they say 25-year-old running backs are old, and to a certain degree, I understand why that is because after 2 or 3 years, most running backs is kind of over. But for Derrick Henry, future Hall of Famer, shouldn't have been MVP 3 years ago, but he didn't win it. For him to be in this Ravens offense, I think is phenomenal. Obviously, they still got to get another slot receiver. They got Zay Flowers, who is young. This would be his second year, right, in the league.
I think so.
Still young. Obviously, we saw that in the AFC Championship game. But at the same time, they needed another slot receiver. I can't remember their tight ends. He's good as well.
Oh, Mark Andrews.
Yeah, well, Mark Andrews.
I remember because there's the rest of Mark Andrews. So they're happening simultaneously.
I know Andrew Martin, but I don't know Mark Andrews, the wrestler. R.I.P. Test.
But you say Zay Flowers again, sure he had that big fumble, but he was their key wide receiver making plays. Again, that's the thing Lamar has been looking for is a playmaker wide receiver. They've had running back by a committee. I mean, they had Mark Ingram for a little bit.
Big trust.
It was Gus Edwards this past year, right? And the other guy, Hill, I think he was the one that had the bad injury, right? Was it Justice Hill?
Yeah.
Who fucked up his leg in that terrible, terrible way. But the Baltimore running scheme is unstoppable with Lamar and whoever is in the backfield. It's almost similar, and I'm not just saying this because it's Kyle Shanahan, but with the whole, if you block a certain way and you can create openings, it doesn't really matter who's back there to an extent. If you're still facing a tough defense, it's going to be a headache. But if your linemen are doing the dirty work, which is what it takes to have a great running game and a great running back. And I think what you're saying is something that I think the NFL has brought this burden on themselves when it comes to young running backs. I want to see if you agree with it in terms of thinking these guys are done by 25 because they don't want to play the long game. Is that how you see it? Because again, like I said, Derrick Henry's 29 now, I think. He has to be around my age. Maybe
he's maybe 31 at the most, but I think he's 29.
Yeah. And he's been with Tennessee the whole time. Again, he said he had a 2,000-yard season. Did he almost have another 2,000-yard?
Which would I think would it be Walter Payton's record, or probably Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson got all the running back records.
And the crazy thing about Derrick Henry is his size, to be that tall and that heavy, running the way he does. I thought he was going to be a bust when he came in, just based off guys like that don't succeed in the NFL because it's easy for them to run over guys who aren't going to play pro football. But he actually transitioned.
Can't go back all-star, brother. Duval. He ain't trying to go back to the north side.
But the other running back,
like me, I'm a running back too. Running my ass away from LA. Lone pot. I'll never go back.
Is Saquon Barkley, and I think that's someone again who's had that bad running back luck of injuries,
It's the Giants, but you're right.
But that's the thing. I think he was put in a bad system after having a great rookie year, and I think a change of scenery is probably needed. But when you think about, I think Todd Gurley was the real, like, damn, this guy was done by 26. And that's not on him, but like I think people knew, like, going in, like his knees were cooked at Georgia. I think kind of like his draft stock going in was like, this guy's not going to have that long of a career, so you got to strike while they are. And the Rams almost won that Super Bowl when he was their top playmaker.
You know when it's over for you is when you go to a team that you shouldn't be on, so to speak, or when you go home. He went home to the Falcons. It was like, yep, gotta do it.
You do the retirement, I'm going to shake the hands, kiss the babies tour at that early. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely with I forgot the strip club in Atlanta. I'll be there, so I'll do my research.
Magic City?
There you go. Well, how do you know? Anyhow, I'll be there to get some wings.
Okay.
But yeah, he probably was there a lot too. I don't know if he's a family man or not. I don't want to put that smut on his name, but to be honest, all it is ass and wings in Atlanta. So I'll be tired, or I'll be retired as well.
I don't think that really weighs. Look, James Harden's still playing despite strip club visits and honey buns.
Ain't no strip club ain't no strip clubs or wings in LA.
No, but he was in Houston.
Well,
and then he went to New York.
You see, he was playing well in Houston. Well, he put up some of the greatest stats ever. Shouts out to I think Jeff Teague said he's
of course.
I think he said he's the third greatest shooting guard of all time.
He said,
I think he did put him up there.
You're probably the third greatest shooting guard of all time.
Oh, no, he from NC? I wouldn't expect that. I thought he'd either be from Atlanta or South Carolina because he looked like he's from either one. Either how. Yeah, Jeff Teague on the side.
But no, but even that, but you're wrong in terms of that. But no, but so he went like going to a place. I said where you have roots in terms of like, oh, I'm going to a place where I played college ball at. I'm going to a place where I was, grew up, but then moved. Like you were right to say, like him going to Atlanta. I was like, oh yeah, this guy has goodwill in the state of Georgia. Atlanta Falcons fans are going to be hyped because they saw this guy be a Heisman contender. Like it happens. And
brother, to be fair, the Falcons would be happy to get a fucking glass of water right now.
I mean, they got the check stealer.
I mean, we're not all over the place. We're actually on a good timing together, despite the fact that I thought my brain's going to be fried while we were recording. So I like where this is going. The thing is, so we just not going to get Justin Fields?
All right, here's the thing. Because I said this, 3-4 weeks ago? At this point, about the Bears keep Justin Fields until 3 to 4 weeks into the season when a quarterback obviously goes down like they always do, and then you hold a team hostage, like give us all the picks you want because you need a quarterback now. Again, like the Minnesota Vikings signed Sam Darnold to replace Kirk Cousins, which is like, that's not stopping the bleeding. That's just letting it bleed out.
Like the artery is busted.
That's I need an ambulance, and just saying that, not actually calling, just like I need an ambulance. I need an ambulance, and no one's calling an actual ambulance. That's what the Vikings are doing. And if you're the Bears, you have to be like, hey, we got a guy over here. He's young. He played better this season compared to the previous 2 seasons. Like, what do you want? And if you're Justin Jefferson, like everyone's saying, who's just like, I'm in hell, you gotta do something.
And Stephon Diggs, bro.
No. All right. I said this about Stephon Diggs. I think it's almost that Chris Paul thing where if you're constantly going to a place and not succeeding and then blaming the people around, then you also aren't the one succeeding as well. Like, because Gabe Davis was putting up numbers for Buffalo, and that could be Josh Allen maybe has a favoritism towards towards Gabe Davis, or whoever else is on the offense, just not Stephon Diggs. And I think the thing too is that Stephon Diggs being the number one option, he gets the number one defensive option. Like he's gonna get second man, all that, like double team. So Josh Allen isn't obviously going to look his way if the go-to guy is going to constantly be locked up on the defensive side. But Stephon Diggs also likes to do that whining and crying in which it doesn't go his way because he's not putting up the numbers he wants, so to speak.
That he's a stat guy. Obviously, if you're a wide receiver, that's stupid.
You have to be.
Me to say, yeah, thank you. That's dumb for me to even say. Oh, you a stat guy if you're a wide receiver? No shit. That's the whole point. Like that's the whole point. But I think with him, he's like you just said, it's more so a system guy. I think he tries to make it. I'll say this as well. I think he tries to make himself the system. But then you have to have a system quarterback, which Josh Allen is. That's all he is. Is not saying that in a bad way, but he is a system guy or he's a system quarterback. And if you can't fit in the system that's relating to him and his offense, then it might just be on you. But now we're in the NFL time period where somebody like a Stephon Diggs can just be on a team where we're just going to outscore you because that's where we are more than ever. We could just outscore you because our defense might not be all there. I think he would have been good if Tyreek wasn't there on the Dolphins. Now I'm looking at teams and I'm thinking like, shit, where can he go? Because the Rams, they just got younger. They got a future all-pro wide receiver. I don't.
Again, but in the case in
maybe
Puka,
the Chargers.
In the case in Puka, just like Cooper Kupp, they put up crazy numbers because Matt Stafford is a one receiver guy. He's going to throw to that number one option 9 times out of 10. Not to say that the other guys on the Rams offense didn't put up numbers like Skoranek or Higbee, but their receptions versus Cooper Kupp's and even the targets, I bet, are staggering because Matt Stafford in Detroit, who did he throw to the most out of everyone? And not just because it was Calvin Johnson, but he's like, I throw to this guy. This guy's going to, whether he's open or not, this guy's going to catch it, or I'm going to make this guy catch it. And I think
it's kind of easy to do that when you 6'5", 6'6", brother. You know that.
And I was just about to say, like, the reason Baker Mayfield got paid, which is a stupid fucking decision.
I don't think so.
I get
who else do you get for that system?
Justin Fields. Like,
no, not over him. Not in that system, bro. Todd, love him. I'm actually a fan of Todd Bowles. He just Baker Mayfield fits Todd Bowles, if that makes sense. Just because you got this old curmudgeon, just no selling ass dude in Todd, and then you got a young Justin Fields who pays like $1,000 to get his hair retwisted.
Okay.
All right, who you think he want to go with? The white guy that can really make plays when he wants to.
The white guy, like I always say, does the black guy stuff. As much as I've said this before, Baker Mayfield gets away with black guy attitude as a white guy. If a black guy did the stuff Baker Mayfield does, they would label him a headache. We can't deal with this guy. All that, being undersized at quarterback, the dancing, the swagger, the up and down, that's what they pin on the black quarterbacks who are the same exact model. But Baker Mayfield gets away with it because he's white.
I agree with you, but which black quarterbacks? Because it's hard to say that now because most teams got black quarterbacks. So at this point, they just got to be mad at all of them.
No, I'm saying that, so to not take the chance on Justin Fields, who's 5 years. I don't think that much because he did the extra year in college. It's probably 4 years younger.
He's 5.
Oh yeah, because Baker Mayfield did the extra year in college too. Yeah, so who's 4 to 5 years younger? I get re-signing Baker because they made the playoffs, even though it took them to the final week of the fucking season to make the playoffs. That's how bad a division in which the Carolina Panthers was still up for grabs in the final week of the season. That's, again, Baker Mayfield. He's a team guy. Guys on his teams will go to bat for him. Like, they love his energy and all that bullshit, yada yada.
Right.
And as we've talked about 2 months ago, he had Mike Evans. Mike Evans, again, I'm picking him over Stephon Diggs as we talk about a number one target guy. Like, he's going to get the ball wherever it's thrown. He's going to make the plays.
And they actually was smart. I'll give it up to Tampa Bay. Pause. They was actually
That's why they
smart enough
paid
to be like,
Baker
yeah. But
because
no, they
they
were
kept
actually
Mike
smart
Evans.
enough to get Mike. Yeah, that was
No, I mean
actually
they
pretty
kept Mike
smart.
Evans, and that's why they paid Baker because it's like this tandem's going to work again. If it worked this year, we might be able to run it back if this division still stays shitty because
Look,
it's
it's
still
the NFC
Atlanta.
South, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, look at you about to say Atlanta, Charlotte, New Orleans. Yeah, they'll be all right. That they need to disembowel. I don't know if I can say that on there. They need to disembowel the fucking Panthers, bro. The owner need to get
oh my god.
the owner need to get up out of here. He's not a good person. He don't respect the fans. Obviously, if you're charging $8 a seat in this inflation and you can't fill the arena,
Well,
bro.
it's football in Carolina.
NWA. Wait, what you trying to say?
It's football in the Carolinas. It's not it's a basketball state.
On what? Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, because they got the best
It's even a
college
baseball
program
state.
in history.
Yeah.
I don't know about baseball.
Yeah, because the minor league baseball is big down there. So like Durham
Really,
Bulls.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
You telling me something
I
new
think
about my state? Because I claim North Carolina. Man. I'm about to
you're
start
like a
running for mayor of
politician.
Charlotte.
Yeah, you're a politician. I'm city to city, town to town. I'm here. My favorite place to be, Asheville.
But no, B-Dot is gonna be running with council for me because we gonna take over. He from there. I'm gonna be the mayor of Charlotte.
He's your
Trump.
Bernie Mac and head of state.
Absolutely, he's gonna smack the hell out of people every time he pass by and ask something. What he say? Hey, you owe me money. Don't come on here with that bullshit.
No, but yeah, the NFC South remained dog shit because poor Bryce Young is trapped. This poor fucker. Like,
speaking of minor league players, he looked like a minor league baseball kid. He looked like angels in the outfield.
But he's got no O-line and no weapons. Like they gave him Adam Thielen, who's past his prime.
You know our 3-year reference. He got no height. Fuck knees. He got no height.
No, because short guy. I mean, we'll get to Russell Wilson. He made a career out of being the little guy.
Yeah, but at least he 5'9". Okay,
yeah, he had. I would take Russell. Again, Russell Wilson coming in to his draft should have been picked higher than he was. The knock on him again was his height, and it was the same knock on Bryce Young. But they were still like, let's take this guy over. But again, as we talked about before, like I wouldn't take CJ Stroud just based on how the Ohio State quarterback thing played out. And it's who knows, he might hit the sophomore slump this year. I mean, I doubt it just because he seems like he has that mentality to push through.
No, he won't because he got Amber Rose now, bro.
You believe that? What she said that nothing happened.
Mace's right on it. Is what it is. Every time somebody get with her, they go up another notch. I don't know what it is. Maybe they just rub her head, that magic cue ball.
No, it's Kanye West. Who else is it?
Wiz Khalifa.
Nick Cannon. Was she with Nick Cannon or no? Yeah, she was, right?
Man, Nick done had them all, bro. I know this ain't the T, bro. This ain't the T.
Well, did Wiz Khalifa go up? Because Wiz Khalifa stopped rapping and started getting an MMA shape. So is that still going up?
It's a song from Fast 6 called Fast 7. I'm sorry, called See.
All right, that is fair enough. Yeah, that is fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, that was like the first video I seen.
But I mean, but first of all, and the soundtrack for the Fast and the Furious movies, that's a whole nother animal in itself.
Yeah, we gonna talk about that eventually. Yeah, actually, we might talk about that fairly soon.
I'm just trying to think. She wasn't with Machine Gun Kelly. 21 Savage. There we go. Is that, you know what, mate? You know what? He might be onto something. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
But the thing is, CJ don't need an extra boost. I mean, he got the Lord on his side, number one, so you can't lose if you got the
Lord. A lot of guys have the Lord on their side. Like Brock Purdy had the Lord on his side, and he still lost. Come on.
He got y'all to the. Here we go. He got y'all to the Super Bowl.
That's still, again, and the Lord helped CJ Stroud get Rookie of the Year. Come on.
Here we go with the quote, brother. You ready? It doesn't matter how you win. A win's a win. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
But
winning is winning.
I don't think. But Kirk Cousins isn't going to help the Falcons win. I think. And they have Raheem Morris as their coach, and he knows how to run a defense. But they're them on offense. Kirk Cousins isn't going to be the one. All right, guys, let's go out there and have a good game. We're gonna throw the ball and we're gonna win this game. Yeah, like yeah, that's him. That's him as a quarterback. That's Kirk Cousins. Like,
you know what's also him as a quarterback? 100, 200, 300, 400. Bro, he has the greatest agent in sports history.
Someone just had a tweet where he should be brokering world peace because he's continued to get this man paid for 10 years now.
I want to know who his agent is. Him and Joe Johnson have the greatest agents in sports history.
At least Joe Johnson could score. That's the thing. At least Joe Johnson could score in the NBA, especially in the era where like defense was starting to tick down year by year.
That's insane, bro. I actually speak very fluid English, but thank you so much for that compliment. No, but yeah, Joe Johnson, one of my favorite players ever. I'm just saying, if you look at how much.
That's his agent, Mike McCartney.
Okay, so our coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's close.
Whoever this guy is, first of all, I remember somebody said this. Oh, that was Stephen A. Smith when he said something about, I think he said Chris Bosh, manager, when he got that money after LeBron left, because obviously they had to sign people. They had so much cap room.
Yeah. And did they know about his health thing? Because it was super sudden, the health thing he had, right? There was no where they could project that. Yeah.
Yeah, when you got blood clots, there's no way to figure that out. It's just like, hey, man, I got this spot on my leg. It's kind of worrying me. You got to immediately go to the hospital because it could be life-threatening.
Well, that was the thing that happened with Trent Williams, apparently. They thought he had like the scalp cancer when he was in Washington or whatever, and it was like misdiagnosed, and then like he blamed that on Washington for like their medical staff and all that. So yeah, but you're right, the Chris Bosh agent, because Houston was the other contender for him as well, and Daryl Morey was trying to get him. And like you said, Miami couldn't. LeBron ditched to Miami. He's like, all right, now you get the extra $10 million we were going to give to him, and he was like, score. And he put up numbers at those first couple months too.
Yeah, he's always been a 19-10 guy, 18-10. Like, people forget him on the Heat. He was like, the lowest I think he had was his first season. It was like 17. 16,
he played the team game.
10. Yeah, and he was still averaging like 1.2 blocks. But I digress. So Stephen A. Smith was like, he needs to give his agent Thanksgiving dinner. He need to cook him dinner, give him a watch. Kirk Cousins need to buy his agent a house.
He don't spend it expensive. I didn't watch that quarterback show on Netflix because he was one of the quarterbacks. But apparently, again, he's just a basic.
The new season?
No, the first season.
I don't remember him being on the new season. I watched it.
It was him, Mariota, and Mahomes.
I hate Mariotas. No disrespect to Marcus Mariota. I liked him in college, but I hated his, dude. It was so fucking boring. I have a baby on the way, and I'm just here to do my job. See, that's the problem. You just here to do a job. Oh. I mean, you wasn't supposed to be the chosen one. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, but no, Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's gonna do the Kirk Cousins thing where he puts up numbers, gets 9 to 10 wins, loses in the first round, and then people in Atlanta are gonna be like, well, we had Matt Ryan, so we're used to this. So.
They don't sound like that. Goddamn, Shorty, we done lost again.
Okay. I can't do it. I can't do an Atlanta accent.
Bro, just sound like Boom Howard on Lean.
Do they talk that fast? Come on.
Yes, they sound like fucking Chip and Dale, the Rescue Rangers. Goddamn, Shorty, it didn't. Yeah. Hey, lemon pepper, folk. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
All right. Before I don't know. We probably don't have any listeners in Atlanta. My apologies if we do.
It don't matter. I'll be out there.
Atlanta's, as I said when I was Harry Carey, Atlanta's a beautiful city.
For me to poop on.
Okay, but Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh. Well, I mean, his woman's from Atlanta.
He was supposed to go to the Falcons. Remember, that was the rule.
He's supposed to go everywhere. I mean,
no. He ain't say nothing about my team. He ain't say nothing about your team.
I mean, anywhere that needed a quarterback. Like, come on.
Anywhere that's losing. You're right.
I mean, he left a losing scenario, so it's not a stretch.
Did you just call him a loser?
No, Sean Payton's also a loser.
I mean, but who's the worst of both? It's the lesser of the evils.
Sean Payton. Yeah.
It's one Super Bowl. And he ain't win that.
And Russell Wilson has one Super Bowl. But Sean Payton had worse losses after his Super Bowl than Russell Wilson. I know. Nothing. But I mean, no, in terms, but I mean, like Sean Payton coached teams that either got hosed with bad calls, or again, like the Minnesota Miracle, Stephon Diggs caught that pass, and his defender just didn't know what to do after it. Like, do I tackle him, or what do I do?
I would have fucking took his head off, bro. Pause.
You do the Billy Blank from Last Boy Scout.
Great reference.
That's still the craziest thing I ever saw in a movie at 12 years old.
That exposed me to CTE.
I know I didn't get all that. I just was amazed that a man pulled out a gun on a football field.
Bruh,
and it was acting like it was gonna count. Like once he scored, he was acting like it should have counted.
The most unbelievable thing about that movie is Damian Wayans being a football player.
Yeah. Well, he was also Celtic pride as a basketball player. So, what do you think was more believable, him as an all-pro quarterback or as an all-pro point shooting guard?
Him as Blank Man.
I think Blank Man's on Netflix now.
Bruh, anybody that's listening to this, when we're done, I'm about to watch Blank Man, bruh. I've seen it literally 15 times.
I swear, if that junior show doesn't come out this year, then something's going on. Because you and I have talked about that Damon Wayans junior show for 4 years. I think since the length of this show started, I think is when it was announced.
They should do this instead. They got the name already. Hell no.
That's what I was wondering. Like,
they could go on comedy tour. Both of them are actually really good comedians. I think Damon Wayans is probably the most underrated comedian ever. But I will say, since they got the name and people have been talking about My Wife and Kids, why not just have Junior and Senior being Michael do a show?
No, that's what I'm saying. That they're supposed to have a TV show coming out.
No, are we talking about Damon Wayans Jr. and Senior?
Yeah, that show where he's his dad on the show.
No, I'm saying if that doesn't get been greenlit, but let's say if they can
you mean he just replaces the guy in My Wife and Kids revival?
No, just do My Wife and Kids too, but them two having to live together.
That's what this show's that's what their show is gonna be, basically.
But yeah, if you can't get Dame, if you can't get Junior, then get Junior from My Wife and Kids. I think that'll actually go over more.
Nah, you can't do what they were doing to the guy in Gladiator 2, because the whole point of Gladiator 2 is that the kid from the first one is grown up, but they swap the actor, even though that guy still acts, like that kid grew up to still be an actor. They just replaced him with Paul Mescal because the studio wanted Paul Mescal. It's like, that's kind of fucked up.
And another Russell, what kind of
there are a few reasons why Russell Crowe wasn't asked to return. I think it was cosmetically. Liquor. I think that they aren't a fan of his look.
He's fat.
Yeah, but I think he would admit it. He would say he's fat.
I wouldn't show up just because they didn't have my Don Julio. I need my Don Julio.
I don't think. No, I think he drinks Foster's beer. What do the Australians drink?
Well, apparently they drinking water out of shoes or whatever the fuck is in it.
Yeah, the shoey is still again. Australia again was the prison for Britain for a reason. I think. All right.
Oh, you want to have a history episode? We can always do that, bro. I got 5 hours.
There's a reason they're so conservative over there. All right.
I will say this.
Good.
If Rhea Ripley took her boot off, put some liquor in it, I'm drinking. Hell, she ain't even need to put liquor in that motherfucker. She could put syrup, preferably chocolate syrup in it, and I'm definitely drinking out that boot. It's March now. I could talk about this, people.
Okay. First of all, you can talk about it year round, because
facts.
People gotta stop living in shame when they're just lying to themselves. But anyway,
it could be February 1st, brother. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about
it. Don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter.
That's a
It's
fine ass over.
2024. Just, get over it. Grow up. But Russell
Oh
Wilson,
yeah,
I don't think he's gonna have success.
yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, well, I just think oh, it's Mike Tomlin. Oh, Pittsburgh always does a great job of drafting receivers. I'm like, I think this guy was it was him in Seattle until it wasn't. That was it.
I want to know if the owners talked to Mike Tomlin about this. I highly doubt it.
The Rooney family.
They didn't talk to Mike Tomlin about this because he would have said, "Fuck no."
Oh, you think they signed him, not Mike Tomlin?
Absolutely, bro. Mike ain't got no. He didn't have no.
He's a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky. So, which again isn't saying much.
That's what I'm saying. They did not ask Mike at all. You see how he left the podium?
Yeah, maybe that's why they signed. Maybe that's why they signed him. It's because they know Mike Tomlin's he's splitting like I'm splitting.
I feel bad for Mike, man. Mike, I heard, is a good dude. One of the greatest quarterbacks. One of the greatest coaches in NFL history. I don't think he improved.
You shouldn't feel too bad. He's gonna a team is gonna do bad this year. Panic, fire their coach, and he's gonna swoop in and it'll probably be a team that has playoff chances.
Dog, it would be stupid as hell tonight. Like, let's say if Mike Tomlin, God forbid, got fired right now. Bruh, if I'm any team outside of the Chiefs, outside of the 49ers, the Ravens, the usual suspects.
You know who should replace Sean McDermott in Buffalo? Because they should already have cut ties with him. So,
but he got paperwork. Remember with Marvin Lewis?
Yeah,
it's it might be some paperwork that he got on some people. Because Marvin Lewis should have never been a coach for like 15 years.
But then we saw what happened after he left. They didn't do shit until the Joe Burrow era. So,
well, that should tell you everything you need to know. I mean, it's the luck of the draw. But at the same time, I did feel like he was holding them back from getting somewhere. Like, bro, his prestige time was having two. Chad is probably one of the best wideouts I've seen. But you got two receivers. One of them is like generational, being T.O., and then you got Chad. So it's like, yeah, of course.
They have end of his run, T.O. You can't say that. TJ Houshmandzadeh was
still T.O. Dog, T.O. could probably run right now.
Run, but not play football. Come on.
I think you could get him for 3 plays, yo.
That's what Randy Moss was doing in San Francisco. Come on. That was a decade ago.
Okay, and then what was the problem with that?
Just because T.O.'s in shape physically doesn't mean he can play football shape. And I think he would admit that.
No, well, you lying because T.O. definitely.
I know he would say it to the microphones and cameras, but I think deep down inside he knows he can't play. Otherwise, he would be trying to play.
T.O. and Cam Newton, the same person to me mentally.
Kansas City.
Didn't they say something about him going to Kansas City? Somebody was joking around.
He could have just done something like that. Or like, who needs me for 3 plays in which I can get open? That's like you say, like what Jalen Rose said 10 years ago when the Grizzlies were in the playoffs and they couldn't hit a 3. He's like, put me in the corner right now and I can knock down a 3.
Oh, that's you. He'll just hit the lotto if he do that. Anybody can go to the Chiefs right now. They hit the lotto if you're wide out. Stephon Diggs should go to the Chiefs. If you can't get it, I think that'd be the test. If you can't get it done, I will sign him to a 1-year deal, maybe 2. And be like, all right, if you can't get it done with us, yeah, you out the league, pal.
I don't think out the league. I think it's just that thing where the wide receiver ego is alive, and I'd say half of these guys these days in terms of like, I need the ball, give me the ball, we'll win, versus guys who are legit playmakers for like the Tyreek Hills, et cetera, and all that. We know that you need a core more than ever these days. The days of Jerry Rice being a one-man team, Andre Reed being a one-man team, Chris Carter being a one-man team until Randy Moss got there. But now more than ever, you need a core for these quarterbacks because the position's so much harder, even though it's easier at the same time. But I think they know that they can't just throw the same guy over and over again unless you're Matt Stafford. Because even San Francisco and Brock Purdy, like he relies on Brandon Ayuk, but he also has George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, and Debo Samuel when he's not, running sweeps and all that.
Right. But Russell Wilson, I won't take too long to talk about it. I'll leave it up to the experts to talk about it more so. Even though we know enough about football, obviously they got Hall of Famers and people that collaborate on it more that I enjoy listening to, like Shannon Sharp and all them. I think Chad Johnson actually called this, but it was kind of obvious from the beginning he would probably go there, just simply based on what you just said. It's like, all right, we need a quarterback. We need somebody that's good enough, and I think that's the whole basis of the Steelers at this point. And Mike Tomlin's career is obviously to win because we don't miss the playoffs to playing no matter what. But having him on your team, a 35, soon to be 36, 2 months before the playoffs begin, because I think his birthday is in November, a 36-year-old, soon to be 36-year-old, at the end of his career quarterback who is only 5'9", I don't think works in that system particularly. I think now more than ever, they're defensive base, and that's what wins them games. Obviously, they didn't get it done in the wild card because TJ got hurt, who shouldn't have been Defensive Player of the Year. I like Myles Garrett, but it shouldn't have been TJ Watts, just because what he had 16 sacks, I think, this season. But Myles had like 17. So again, I can't be.
No, he had more. I think TJ Watt had more in every category except one. Like I think his pressures were higher. I think his tackles were higher.
He might have 21 sacks.
It was a thing where, like, based off the numbers, TJ Watt should have gotten it because in the categories he, I think, beat out Myles Garrett with the exception of 3 to 4 categories.
Yeah.
I mean, they were close in a lot of categories. It's not like it was drastic, but like in terms of that much of a robbery, but like TJ Watt still on paper deserved the MVP award. I mean, the Defensive Player of the Year award to Myles Garrett. It seemed like one of those voter fatigue things where they didn't want to give it to TJ Watt again, even though they gave it to Nick Bosa last year, but Nick Bosa had his best year of all last year. But it seemed like they finally wanted to award Myles Garrett because his team finally had a good year since that, the 1 year they made the playoffs before. But his numbers finally equaled their team success.
Right. So in the sense of, let's go back to the offense, that's initially how we got here, obviously, because of Russell. I don't honestly, dude. It's like, all right, who does he throw to at 35 years old? Because it took up to week 5, week 6 for him to even be 50% Russell. I'll give him 50. I was about to say 20. I ain't gonna bury him that much. But for him to even be 50% Russell and that arm to even move. And then that lasted for like 3 weeks. And then after that, it was like, okay, this is old Russell. This is older now, Russell, in this system. Yes, you have a better you got a better system, but you don't get better. You get older, you don't get better in the off season. If you're a football player, that is. I mean, well, all professional athletes. I mean, cool. They'll probably win 2 more games at the most, but this is a one and done thing, obviously, because he's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I think this is it after this for him.
They're probably more locked into drafting someone next year because they're willing to. It almost seems like they're willing to punt on Kenny Pickett in terms of like, we've picked the wrong guy, but they picked the wrong guy in a bad quarterback draft. Like, that's going to happen when there are no options and you pick one of the worst ones. It's like, well, it is what it is.
And they have no leverage to do for the draft. They have no leverage to draft up.
Because they tried to make the playoffs. They stupidly were like, let's compete. Let's try to make the playoffs.
Because Mike eyes be big naturally. That's how his eyes is. He'd be looking at Caleb like, damn, I wish we can get him. And then he get that sarcastic ass look he do. Or he try to trip somebody like he used to do on the sidelines, just randomly try to trip people. But
well, that's what I'm saying about the Justin Fields thing being a realistic option where a team is going to have a quarterback. A key starting quarterback is going to go down 4 weeks in. And if Chicago is smart enough to hold on to Justin Fields, he's going to have a bidder. He's going to have a suitor because
it might be the Steelers.
That's what I think. That's realistically the best scenario for him. I mean, the thing about the Steelers the last 10 years, actually a little bit longer because I guess it goes all the way to San Antonio Holmes and even Hines Ward, is that they draft receivers, which doesn't make any fucking sense how they pick a receiver every 2 to 3 years who has 3 to 4 good seasons. Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster, like they might not have a career, that spans 10 years, but they dominate for their first 3 to 4 seasons. And it's George Pickens now. And the other quarterbacks, and this is what I'm saying, like, I think I know why Russell Wilson had to pick them, because again, it's 1 year and he thinks like, oh, I can beat out Kenny Pickett, no problem. It's that Gardner Minshew went to Las Vegas. And again, he's a guy he's a guy with a steady hand. He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo is right now. And he's better than Aiden O'Connell. Again, that's not saying much, but he's a guy.
Jim McMahon better than Jimmy G right now.
No, but I'm saying like
he can't even pick out Campbell's soup from the cabinet.
But I mean, I said this to a coworker today. Like certain quarterbacks are, if they're in for this game, we might be able to win still. That's what Gardner Minshew is. Not as a starter, as like if the quarterback's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks and this guy is starting, we might be able to win half the games.
Gardner Minshew is the perfect on-call guy. The guy that's at your job, like, damn, I need some hours today. Who can we call? Gardner.
It's the New England signed Jacoby Brissett, which that's a mistake.
Yeah, I had to do the whistle there.
Because it's like he wasn't even good as a starter anywhere. Him in Indianapolis.
Hey, Shador, get ready for that cold, pal.
That's the thing. Like Tyrod Taylor signed with the Jets, and he's gonna start because
he's still in the league.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's gonna start for the Jets because Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna say this now, won't be playing that much football this coming year.
Well, you want to tell the people why, and it's not because of the injury.
No, it just what? No. That is total bullshit. Like he's not gonna be RFK Jr.'s running mate. He'll have another injury because he's fucking old and washed, and he plays for the New York Jets. That's a cursed position to be quarterback for the New York Jets. That's why Tyrod Taylor, with his history signing with the Jets, is like, why are you tempting fate?
No, and I'm not saying this. I like that.
I get it. He was with the Giants. He doesn't want to move after moving the last 13 years of his career. He just wants to stay in New York, but New Jersey, but still.
But he keep a job too. He another one. You got to think of agent. Even though he ain't getting huge money, you getting enough.
Yeah. As we said earlier, Sam Darnold in Minnesota, which as someone who left California to go to Minnesota, he's going to instantly regret that.
You're like, damn, bro. They said -20. What's that?
The guy you just talked about, Marcus Mariota, he signed with Washington, which is like, they're not going to get good anyway. So
God is good.
You have to pay guys to fill out a team. And
is Ron Rivera still there?
No, they fired him, and it was I can't remember the guy there.
I gotta stop laughing at stuff that ain't funny. He got fired again.
And Drew Lock went to the New York Giants. Like,
okay,
yeah, I think those are the quarterback moves.
It's a lot. It's about to be a lot of bad teams this season.
But you think about it, like again, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and then who was the fourth guy? Shit. But Shador stayed. That was smart on him. He knows he'll be a top 5 guy next year if he has the season, even if he has the same numbers he had this year. Even if they don't win a lot of games, if he just puts up basic 27-3, 3,000-yard numbers, that's in his height and his arm. Like he's gonna be an option for a team to try it.
But I'm calling it right now. We'll come back to this within a year. He'll be on the Patriots.
I think so too. I definitely think it'll be a team who, because if they pick Marvin Harrison Jr., you got to go this year, and you got to go out and get a quarterback next year.
He should go number 1 all around. All around overall for the Bears. I think they should draft him first.
That's you buying. That's you saying you're buying in on Justin Fields, and for sure.
Well, it's like we've been talking about the past, couple of weeks or so, and then we're talking about it now. Like you said, it's kind of like you gotta use him for leverage, but it's catch-22 down because ideally he would have went to the Falcons. Ideally he would have went to the Steelers. Ideally, who can he go to now? Because these teams are locked in with these bad quarterbacks. just so they can get a lottery pick next year.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, the only place he can go at this point, hey, you want what's up with your man, the vanilla midget? I'm sorry, you can't say midget. The Kyler Murray. What's up with Kyler Murray?
Yeah, there are places like Arizona, New
You trade
Orleans.
essentially you trading one brunch dude for another brunch dude.
But Kyler Murray is a guy who I think if he's not playing for Arizona, he doesn't start anywhere else.
I think if after he leaves Arizona, he is unemployed.
Yeah.
It's over for him.
Yeah. And whether
Ben
that's fair or
Simmons.
not. No.
it's fair.
He'll get jobs and he'll have his occasional start or two. But Ben Simmons,
It's the micro wrestling league needing a quarterback.
That's an actual show. You know that.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching it. It's on A&E if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, I think it's TLC. Funny enough.
Hey man, I don't want no scrubs, and they ain't got nothing on that show. Better workers in. Never mind.
I know Rock be watching that show, so.
Well, I do too, but they ain't got that on there. Thank you very much.
I don't. Again, y'all being into that, it just ain't for me. I'll say.
I mean, yeah, man, you got to switch it up every now and then. Damn, I can't just be looking at.
You remember the American Pie movie? The American Pie movie where the guy gets.
Yeah, I know the first one like the back of my hand.
No, the Beta House one in the fraternity, and they play the dwarf. You haven't seen that one? They play the dwarf
I saw fraternity. 1, 2, and that was it.
No, you gotta watch this one because they play the dwarf fraternity in football and get their ass kicked. It's a hilarious scene.
No, I might pass out from laughing.
And then the one guy's like, he's got a hot girlfriend, like despite her being short. Like,
yeah, they need some love too. You just gotta pick them up. It's just a little weird.
Before we stick, I thought about asking you this because I listened to Laps Fans Bash at the Beach 2000 episode. I re-listened to it. It came. What's a crazier Eskimo bro pairing? David Flair and George Clooney, or Billy Kidman and A-Rod?
Run that back.
So George Clooney and David Flair are Eskimo bros.
Because of Stacy Keibler?
Because of Stacy Keibler. Yeah, David Flair dated her in real life.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And George Clooney dated her for a number of years. And then Billy Kidman was with Tori Wilson for almost a decade, I think. And then she started dating A-Rod, I think, like right after. So what do you think is the crazier Eskimo bro pairing? Oscar-winning he might be, I can't remember if he's a billionaire or not because of Casamigos. Legendary actor George Clooney.
You didn't tell me?
No, I'm just saying. Oh, okay. George Clooney and probably one of the worst sons of a legendary pro wrestler, David. I know he's your guy, Crowbar, or whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't be disrespectful.
All-time terrible worker, David Flair, or cruiserweight legend Billy Kidman and 600 home run steroid user Alex Rodriguez.
Damn, bro. I do like A-Rod, even though he's a fucking prick. I'm going. Damn, bro. George Clooney was Batman, and he was in ER.
To me, it has to be
A-Rod.
David Flair. No, it has to be David Flair, George Clooney. Because you dated.
I'm going by the stature. I'm going by that.
Yeah.
You know, fuck that jabroni. You know what I mean? No disrespect, because I like David Flair, but I'm thinking about the stature of these two Hall of Famers, because it's George Clooney, all right? Another one that can steal your girl. It don't matter if your girl black, blue, or green, or yellow. He gonna steal your bride if he wants to. And then it's A-Rod who he might steal your bride too, even if she don't watch baseball. But then you got to think about. All right. Let me phrase this. I'll be more pissed if I can't even be mad. Damn, bro. I low key wouldn't be mad if my girl chose up, because it's A-Rod and it's George Clooney.
No, I'm not saying these guys like, oh, they fumbled the back, because like David Flair probably knew like I'm out of my league with 21, 22-year-old Stacy Keibler, and then Billy Kidman knew the whole point of like Billy Kidman, even though Billy Kidman was a good-looking guy back then, probably knew like, no, he probably knew like, yeah, like I shouldn't be with Tori Wilson, you know, like, but. You know,
you learn something every day, don't you?
To the wheels fall off. What?
It's like me. If you ever see me with Sweetie, you be like, "Damn, Banks got Sweetie. How you do that?"
No, after I've seen you in action, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. So.
Okay, thank you for putting me over, and I'm
You
quite
know, no,
handsome.
I told because when I saw
All
you
right.
talk to a girl right away, speaking of Wally Mania, when I saw that happen right away, I'm like, this man's not lying. I thought I called him a liar. I'll admit, I admit my L's. I'm like,
Brother,
my apologies, sir.
I don't put myself over often. It just ain't the looks that get me put over. I'm a worker, brother. 60 minutes. Hey, oldest ride, longest line.
Speaking of looks, I have a full list of the Oscars, but our goat. I mean, you disowned him as your goat.
Damn,
You
keep texting.
you said you disowned John Cena as your goat because of his actions within the last couple of weeks, but particularly Oscar Sunday, when in which he got on stage with only the envelope to cover what the Rock refers to as the people's package. Remember, Lily, the buffet is closed. No.
The Rock strudel.
I liked the bit. I thought it was funny. Everyone was like, "This is again humiliation ritual," which is extremely played out. Everyone tells the same jokes over and over. Everyone tells the same jokes over and over on Twitter. Besides the fact that like Jimmy Kimmel has set it up right before John Cena walked out there, like this legit happened at an Oscar ceremony years ago, in which a naked man ran onto the stage. He's like, "Now we're gonna actually plan a naked man running onto the stage," and John Cena like, "I don't want to do it. Now that I'm fully naked, I don't want to do it."
Also, too, people act like Cena ain't said or did some humiliating shit before. If y'all want to start from 03, we could start then. He's telling the old girl, "I'll paint your face white." Yeah, like this dude ain't. He done said some shit. Now y'all worried about him being naked on stage. If they want to put up that footage, they can.
Well, that was in character versus. I mean, he's playing it up, but his thing in Hollywood now is this is his biggest look.
Tim, you embarrass me.
No, that's you. That's you. We'll get to that in a minute. But this is his biggest non-wrestling look of all time. Like he can go on all the talk shows again. He being the Fast and Furious movies, all that, but like nothing is like being at the Oscars in a big time segment or moment. And that's what this was like. This is a Hollywood christening in a way. Like even the Rock got on stage after him when this happened again. And this is a guy who's been trying to make it legitimate in Hollywood for 10 years now, since he had his real big breakthrough. But no, I think it worked. It played into, again, like you think he looks sick. I think it's just him being older. You know what I mean? I think now more than ever, he's really starting to show his age facially. Because he is almost 50. Let's not forget. And he's trying to say like at 50, he'll be done wrestling for sure. Like he said in a, I don't know if it was on a talk show or not, but he said 50 is my line in the sand is when I'll retire. Like I'm not going to wrestle past that.
Okay, so why is his classmates from that OVO camp? They look either younger or better. Oh, OVO, I'm sure.
I'm like, wait a second.
I mean, he might be with a six guy too. The different six guy. Conspiracy theories. No.
Oh my. Oh wait. What are you trying to say? That they cloned Aubrey Graham?
No, they cloned John Cena. They done cloned Tyrone and John Cena. No.
Anyway.
All the people from
OVW 2002 camp, yeah,
they look either a tad bit younger or they look better. I don't know what happened to Cena.
No, Batista looks old, but he was also 10 years older than them already.
Right, but we gotta remember Batista like 53, bro, and he looked better now than he did back then.
They gave Randy Orton the PEDs again, so we have to disqualify him for that.
But he still looks his age. It just looked like he got a standstill face.
Shelton Benjamin looks the same. Facially, he just has old man. He has old man strength as well. That's the key.
Don't crack, but he will crack you if you disrespect.
And then Brock Lesnar is, someone we can't talk about these days, but he has.
No, they put him back on They put him back on the site. The P incarnated coming back.
Drip.
We need him after they book Sami Zayn versus Gunther. No, hey, bring back Brock Lesnar tonight, bro. To Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Bro, I woke up on my sleep like the Undertaker when I found out Chad Gable had to do the job. Are you fucking
You
kidding?
did that.
Hold on 1
Like
second,
you did
brother.
that June night in 2021.
which is John Cena related, which is one of the funniest tweets ever from Davis. I woke up from the dead, bro. I saw Gunther go. I saw Sami Zayn go over Chad Gable. I said, bro, y'all want to tell? Yeah, hold on. Let me ISO. Let me go on my tangent.
Yeah,
and y'all want to tell me Triple H is that fucking guy when he booking shit like this? See this? What in the words of the I don't know if I should quote him, but anyway, I've been doing it lately. That's what's wrong with the business today because of bullshit like this. Are you fucking kidding me? Chad Gable
should have won.
Chad Gable should be IC champ at WrestleMania. Yes, it's Chad Gable, phenomenal athlete, great worker. He's entertaining. And fucking Sami Zayn versus Gunther on what fucking basis? Sami Zayn ain't sold a t-shirt in a year. He ain't been Uzi. Are you kidding me? All he been doing is walk around his skinny fat ass. Just everybody should feel sorry for me. Oh, I speak different languages. I don't give a fuck. You Canadian. I don't give a fuck.
Or I don't give a fuck.
Like, dude, I don't understand it. Anyhow, y'all go ahead. And then, I mean, Chad Gable got Maxine Dupree.
Well,
I had her in my corner, bro. Shit, she was in my corner, bro. Legitimately or not legitimately, I'm about to put in some work, bro. You about to see 5-star matches,
thank you for.
I'm saying, shh. Everybody just look at her. Anyhow, yeah, I could talk about Maxine Dupree for 30 minutes. Anyhow, the Oscars. Yeah. So, can I talk about real quick before I let you do the breakdown? Because this is how we work as a tag team. You do the analytical stuff.
Biggest moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I do the high spots. You just do. Essentially, we Shelton Benjamin, and he my dude.
Charlie Haas.
Yeah, he's Charlie Haas. I do all athleticism. You do the technical wrestling, and we still Hall of Famers. Well, I don't know Charlie Haas Hall of Fame. Anyhow,
well, they let the. I mean, I might be doing a. Not gonna get you a wrestling show this week, covering the nitty gritty, and then you and I will come back later and talk about The Rock stuff when he cuts another shitty promo.
No, it was another classic. Hey, Tim, if you're watching this, you and Davis full of bullshit. Because Tim texted me yesterday.
How dare you talk about Tim like that?
I'm going to send this to him, too. Tim was like, I thought you was an honest man. You up here talking about some bullshit. I'm like, what are you talking about? The promo was great. This past week promo was great, too. What more do y'all want from me?
I do, even though I am a dog person, I do like him calling his dog a shithead because, like, you gotta be an asshole to just say your dog, another man's dog's a shithead. Even though dogs literally are shitheads when they do shit like eat their own poop or like, what the fuck are you doing that for? Because I loved my dog when I had him, but I was also like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
bruh,
my dog one time barked at another dog and then ran up to this dog, and this dog punked him back. And I'm like, that's what you fucking get. Like,
well, what's the saying goes? The loudest dog is the weakest one, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, my dog was just he was just trying to. He was a small bulldog, and this was kind of a bigger type dog. But I'm like, you ain't gonna do shit. You sleep all day, like,
bro. Your parents' dog is loud as hell.
Different. Yeah, no, she's different. Yeah, that's a whole another snare. But anyway, your Oscar. The thing that you want to talk about the Oscars the most, what was it?
Thank you. Oh, fucking the Hollywood doing the job to Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
Just God.
Finally.
Dude, but not for this movie. I get it. Good movie, but damn, get off your knees, Oscars. Oh, Lord, we love you. Oppenheimer. Oh God, like, all right, cool. Robert Downey Jr. got Best Supporting. Cool, that's fine. I'm not mad at that. One of the greatest actors of our time. I mean, go ahead, elaborate.
No, good. No. I want you to keep going because I think what you're saying.
You know how I get warmed up with these shoot promos, so you better jump in.
But what I mean is, like, what's gonna happen? Maybe even 5 years from now, because the movie conversation in terms of what ages well and what doesn't age well is a lot quicker these days than it was years ago. But what people are going to realize is that whether Barbie ages gracefully or not, I think it will.
Yeah.
Is that the Oscars will be looked at as they didn't want to give it to Barbie because it was a Barbie movie,
Which
and
makes no sense.
Yes, no, but think about all the other scenarios in which a movie of that stature either didn't get a nomination or wasn't recognized. Or was nominated but didn't ultimately win.
Yeah. Let me cut you off for 1 second, brother. It's movies like The Polar Express, Chronicles of Narnia, the Lord of the Rings. These movies that have been nominated with fictional characters. The thing is, with this fictional character, it's been around for 70 some years, and they made it and shot it in a way where it's fiction, but it told a story as if this was a real woman or a village or city, whatever village, city, same thing. A village where she's from, and it's like, I want to be an actual person. There's a story in that. That fucking horrible movie with what's that jabroni with the lip? Joaquin Phoenix. What's the movie called? Her? When Scarlett Johansson did the voice, that got nominated. This motherfucker was talking to Siri, and because he couldn't get no females. So y'all want to tell me that get nominated, but not Barbie for Best Picture? Am I taking
Barbie was
crazy
nominated.
pills?
It was nominated, but it wasn't the winner. But I had said this when the first teaser dropped. I think I said it on an episode of White Noise that because that first trailer dropped, that first teaser dropped, and it was in black and white, and it was just like smash cuts because they had just finished shooting, I think. So they weren't trying to give away too much. But I was like, this is Chris Nolan's Oscar movie, and already he's had Oscar nominations in the past with and Interstellar and Dunkirk. Dunkirk is his movie that actually should have won because he made a phenomenal war film under 2 hours, and with a great score and great performances across the board. Again,
That sound, that sound pissed me off. But what Christopher Nolan movie with sound doesn't piss me off?
Well, that's the big thing is his sound in movies, and that's what this movie had. Obviously, due to the bomb and how the sound of math, the sound of equations, and all that. But
I hate that he does that shit, bro. Maybe I'm just not, in tune too much with the business. I don't know, but
no, it's
turn that shit up. It's like I can hear. That's all I hear in the background in dialogue. Oh, we have to get the bomb ready. That's all I hear, bro. Turn the fucking volume up. Get a better boom operator or something.
No, I think it's deliberate.
Yeah, he does it on purpose. I don't know why. I don't want to hear Hans Zimmerman all the time. I like Hans Zimmerman. I don't want to hear this shit that loud.
Well, no, it's Ludwig Ludwig Göransson these days. It's not Hans Zimmer anymore because Ludwig Göransson won his second Oscar for this film.
Hey, again, same thing, and I feel bad for John.
Ludwig Göransson does the sound for Black Panther and Mandalorian, and that sound is distinct to Hans Zimmer's.
Yeah, I can get into some nerdy shit. I know what you're saying, but I can get into some nerdy shit when it comes to sound. I won't do it. Obviously, it's the reason why I said what I just said. I will say I feel bad for John Williams, though.
No. Because John Williams has been doing this for 60 years. He's had his Oscars.
Oh, bro, he got nominated so many times. He barely got one.
And to look at Martin Scorsese's career.
Yeah, he won one.
Yeah, one, and he should have won 8 times.
Goodfellas,
Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Wolf of Wall Street.
Taxi Driver. Very debatable. I can break down why Taxi Driver. Nah, I can't go for that. No, can do. Like, bro, Taxi Driver is a good movie. I almost went with the pun. It's a good movie, but come on, bro, that's not Oscar worthy.
I forget what was nominated, but either way,
that was the Joker before the Joker movie. It's just an incel.
No, that's literally why they made the joke. That was one of the reasons. Like when they pitched Joker, they said Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, but with the DC character. That's how they got it made.
And guess what's about to win next year, people? Joker 2.
I don't know if people are going to stay hyped on Dune Part 2 like the way they are. If that has a year staying power, we'll see.
We almost there. We gonna get to that. That's when I might stand up and talk about that movie.
We'll get to it next week when we can actually.
No. We gonna get to that, brother. I know it's late at night and we gotta work or whatever we need to do, but I'm gonna stand. I might do a Michael Irvin to that movie.
But no, Chris Nolan, he played the game. He got an all-star cast together, the biggest all-star cast he could ever get, and people are trying to say,
"Oh, the 1950 Celtics."
Yeah, but that's when everyone's like, "Why are they caping for a movie with an all-white cast?" And people were bitching about this 2 years ago, and I'm like, "Yeah, if I'm not wrong, this is," and I don't like this historically accurate when you look at it. When did the bombing take place versus when the civil rights movement happened? So I think a lot of this cast would be white, just based on a historical accurate level. So
and right, why would my people be around a fucking atom bomb anyway? Y'all want black people to be involved with a massacre?
But
they wouldn't even let us in there to sweep the floor. Willie, go get the broom. It's dust all over.
People crying about the movie being so right with the people that went on to go see it. So hypocrisy, like I said, we are in the age of hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy era. But personally,
Davis, I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but I actually like what Tristan's saying. Is I got the perfect movie he should direct. I got the perfect bio. If he want to do a biopic, even I got the perfect biopic. O.J. Simpson. I think Christopher Nolan should direct the O.J. Simpson movie, bro. It's right there. When they get to that one part that happened in real life story, brother, that sound, when you get Lou Wig, Hans Zimmerman, John Williams, you get anybody you want. You can get that sound too. No. There you go right there. So yeah, get Christopher Nolan direct that.
How much more O.J. Simpson content can you handle?
I beg your pardon?
Like how much? Like we had the Ryan Murphy show, we had the docuseries. How much more O.J. Simpson content can you like? Yeah, let's tell this story over and over again.
Here we go, right there. Ben just booked it for us. They could just reenact the book.
But
Sorry,
you didn't watch the Vince Staples show in which he tries to say O.J. Simpson is his uncle in an episode.
That's why I'm not watching it. Exactly why I'm not watching it.
But Chris Nolan, he shot it in black and white for half the film, not the whole film, which is what fucked up David Fincher when he made Mank. David Fincher leaned too far into that, and that's why the Oscars gave him nothing. Chris Nolan's like, maybe if I only do half of it, and it's only when Robert Downey Jr. is on the screen, and the Oscars are like, ooh.
And Hollywood doesn't like David Fincher either.
That is true, because David Fincher is a genius who shits on the industry.
No, just because he makes these little white woke movies, and they like, damn, we got to do something for him. We don't fuck with him like that, but we'll do something.
But I mean, and he won Best Director, he won Best Picture. He had Al Pacino, who was at the star of one of his favorite films, Heat, present Best Picture, in which Al Pacino just got on stage and said the winner. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Everyone thought he just skipped the nominees on purpose, but he said, no, I was told to skip them.
Heat 2 coming next year, finally, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, next episode, we're going to talk about Austin Butler.
Yeah, well, like I said, next episode, we'll do a deeper dive into Dune 2, because there's a lot more to talk about. Then I was just going to John Mulaney, who was kind of already being positioned as the potential host next year based off his was it the Governor Awards he hosted this year? He had a great opening speech for that. But his presenting speech for the award he was giving out was great this year. And again, this guy's comedy is amazing, but his story is even amazing, because how do you rehab yourself into divorce and then get Olivia Munn after it? It doesn't make any sense. How do you do cocaine to ruin your marriage and then you rebound with Olivia Munn? Like,
hey, it's a work, brother. It's a work, brother. He had to go ahead. He had to get out the program somehow, brother. That's all it was. And then to get her, and then he got her pregnant fast. Yeah, he's a real one. I would have did that same night.
And a legit comedy genius. And like hilarious. And
yeah, like John. But the thing is with him, we didn't know. Nobody knew he was off the geeker. We thought he was like
that was his whole story. Well, he said growing up in his teens that he was a big drinker, and he has a stand-up bit about this where he's like, I know you wouldn't think that based on how I look.
He showed no signs. He just like me. I said, oh wow, he's just like me.
But
he's really like me.
Because he wasn't athletic or anything like that he was like, well, if I can outdrink everyone, that'll be like my strength. That'll be like my machismo by being able to outdo people in drinking. And I know, like, I understood. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a fucked up, warped way of thinking, but I understand. Like, this dude might be 6'2", star quarterback, but he can't handle 2 beers. Watch me pound 4 beers and this bottle of vodka, like, and be fine after.
No offense. Also, I'm just gonna say it because it's true. He Irish. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know. Mulaney's an Irish name. It might be, but I mean, he might be something else. Cillian Murphy's Irish. He won Best Actor finally. He basically said that he was doing it for Ireland. He said, "I'm an Irishman. This means a lot to me."
I'm debating that. I mean, I knew he was gonna win.
Yeah.
But I guess
what
could win another route.
Paul Giamatti? I haven't seen the holdovers yet, so
yeah, because I think he was due for one eventually, especially because Billions has been a success, even though it's a TV show.
I think they recognize him as a great TV actor because he was also John Adams on the HBO miniseries.
I forgot about that.
And he's always a bad guy.
3 hours.
Well, yeah, that's what that's the whole point of a miniseries. You can do that stuff.
I watched the first episode. I said, God, this AEW Revolution.
That's the length of Oppenheimer. Shit.
Yeah, but the way it's edited enough and shot, it's enough to keep you involved, especially the editing. Even though I've never seen. I hate. What?
Not Oppenheimer, John Adams is what I'm saying. I've never seen the John Adams.
No, if you want to stay awake, don't watch.
What else? My big takeaways. His co-star in The Holdovers, Divine Joy Randolph, she had a great, amazing speech about being seen, and she was the best part of The Idol last year. I know I was one of the only people to finish HBO's The Idol, but if you watched,
you got hard for that one.
Sometimes I got to see things through, and that was one of those times.
You like me, except when it comes to TV shows.
But no, that's because I never finished TV shows. That's the thing. But I was gonna make sure to finish that one. Yeah. I had nothing else to do. I had nothing else.
Freak man. Yeah, that's me.
I don't deny such claims, but Divine Joy Randolph was the best part of that show. But that's again not to say much, but she was killing it. Her and Hank Azaria, their chemistry was amazing. Cord Jefferson won Best Adapted Screenplay for American Fiction. I might talk about that more on a new episode. But what he had said was right. He said what most of film fans and film critics have been saying is that Hollywood has to stop putting all the money into one movie and start spreading it out over multiple movies. He said instead of making one $200 million film, make 10, $20 million films, or make 15, $10 million films. Like, which probably pissed people off. But he's right when you think about when small movies can still make money. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once made a lot of money last year, 2 years ago. It won the Oscar last year, but it made a lot of money despite not being budgeted like a big budget movie. And as we saw in Madden Web, they spent a shit ton of money on a movie that didn't make a fucking dime.
Wait, what movie?
Madam Web.
When that come on?
A month ago.
You fooled me.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell out of me? I just know the main actress said, "Yeah, I regret doing it." I never seen nobody bury.
That was one of John Mulaney's jokes was about Madam Web tanking.
But I never seen a collective we burying the program.
Because they have to lean into it. They can't say, I made a good film trapped in this bad movie. They have to admit, yeah, this was horseshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I've never seen a collective of I'm burying it. That's it. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, yeah, this shit trash. Okay, damn, they paid you. At least put them over a little bit.
Again, that check cleared. I ain't getting another check. Again, there's no sequel.
Well, Sony real good for that. We're gonna give you some money. And yeah, that's it. She'll be nominated for an Oscar in the future.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you how the booking works in Hollywood, brother. When you over as a draw, even if it's for your looks,
Robbie's been,
they gonna put you in something weird.
Yeah,
they gonna put you in something weird.
Well, she has that taste anyway. She has this Nun movie coming out later this month, I think. Yeah,
and they showed it during doing too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, the theater I went to, they showed it. During the trailer for Dune 2, and I said, "What the fuck? This is wrong with the business today because of bullshit like this."
Yeah. Well, there's also the Omen remake, so it's like nuns are all the rage right now.
I thought it was the Omen remake. Oh, that's crazy! I was like, "Yo, is this the Omen remake?"
You might have saw that one. Her movie is called Immaculate.
But is it the same? Because you know they do universes.
It's almost the same exact premise where she's pregnant. They're not the Sydney Sweeney movie. She might not be pregnant with Satan, but she's pregnant through. It's immaculate, like an immaculate conception. It's like she's pregnant without having sex. But the Omen remake is this nun's pregnant with Damien, the man who will grow up to be the devil. So,
wait, did you actually see it, Jay? Oh,
Mike Epps is in Madam Web.
Get paid, young, get paid. That's all it is, bro. You see, he ain't did no promotion run for that. Well,
he was on the red carpet, but yeah, he was too busy beefing with Shannon Sharp at the time to promote it. That's why.
He was the only person on that red carpet. It shouldn't have been Brown for that movie, for shit.
What else happened at the end again? Because I'm going to dive into the Cord Jefferson speech and aftermath because I saw American Fiction. I recommend it's on Prime Video now for those who have Prime Video, so you're able to watch it. I watched it a few weeks ago. We didn't do that episode where we documented my Black cinema journey in February. We might do that on the next episode.
Yeah, definitely next episode we're gonna do that. So make sure y'all like and subscribe.
And that's when I'll talk about Cord Jefferson, what he was standing for and all that. But I'm trying to think what Across the Spider-Verse didn't win. The first one won the Oscar, remember, but this one didn't. It lost to the Miyazaki movie, The Boy and the Heron, which not too shocking because the Oscars love Miyazaki, and he's a legend. But and I think Phil, again, because I can never tell which one says anything. Phil Lord or Chris Miller said, "If you got to lose to the GOAT." So they weren't mad that they lost to Miyazaki with Across the Spider-Verse, but.
Right. I still need to watch that Miyazaki movie, and I've seen all his projects.
It'll be on Max because they re-upped their deal with Studio Ghibli, so it'll be coming to Max soon.
Hey, everybody go back to streaming services. I see now. Okay,
yeah,
I see the play already. Hollywood, you can't trick me. I'm familiar with your game.
They had a stunts montage just to say that they don't give an Oscar to stunts, but the montage was amazing and shows why they should give an Oscar to stunts. So it was a backhanded compliment all in once. Like,
and we don't care about y'all losing your lives, but here.
Yeah. Well, they had the stars of The Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt present this montage, I should say, because that movie's based on stuntmen, and David Leitch, the director, is a former stuntman. Yeah, they were like Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, the greatest directors in the Hollywood, in the birth of Hollywood, are all stuntmen, and we don't give awards for that. So,
did they give honor to that woman that got shot?
Oh, I don't know if she was in. Well, she would have been in the In Memoriam a year ago compared to this year's.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, he beat the case like we knew what was going to happen.
I mean, it was accident. I don't want to dive into the Alec Baldwin saga again and again and again, but I mean, it's not like it's a whole can of worms. But Robert Downey Jr. won Best Supporting Actor over Ryan Gosling, which I said a few weeks ago shouldn't be the case because Robert Downey Jr.'s overacting in Oppenheimer is very overrated. It's someone trying so hard to be serious that you are seeing how painstakingly hard he is trying to be serious in this movie. And like I said, you can't be. It's hard to be that funny and charming in a movie like Ryan Gosling is in Barbie. But he's like that in real life, as we see with the I'm Just Ken performance, that this guy does this shit for real. He lives the gimmick, or he's able to do it on screen and on the stage. That they gave it to Robert Downey Jr. because of his story, and it was in the movie that they liked more than the other movie. Because all the other nominees kind of had a chance. If you watch American Fiction, Sterling K. Brown's performance is very funny, but very sad at the same time. In another year, he probably would have won. I think he was the one who was screwed over the most by this category having heavy hitters in it this year, because any other year Sterling K. Brown would have won the Oscar. But Robert Downey Jr. won and gave another irritating speech. All his speeches to me are just so like,
yeah, he back on the dope, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He back on that dope. He back on that 85 dope too, because it's like, what you talking about, bro?
People are saying that he was saying he's drunk. I'm like, no, I think he's just.
No, he's back on the dope.
No, I think his quirkiness is that turned up now. But no, you know what? Like, you know when someone might not be as cool as you think they are when you see them on TV or on screen. Like, oh, I bet he's a cool guy. But I think in real life he's one of those guys who's actually like kind of weird and kind of lame.
You ain't got to attack me, but okay.
I'm that way. Anyone who's ever met me in person realizes I don't talk, and then they're like, I get away from this guy.
Yeah, don't call me quirky. Use a different type of term.
But I think that's what Robert Downey Jr. is, because he gives these lame ass speeches that are so. I'm like, you already have a great comeback story because you got paid $20 million a picture, like that. You won 15 years ago.
And allegedly 50 mil for in-game.
No, that's what I mean. Like, you won when you got casted as Iron Man, and then had Iron Man and Tropic Thunder come out in the same summer. That's winning.
He definitely was like Roman Reigns with the undisputed title. I got two of
them. And again, they casted you, a non-British man, as Sherlock Holmes. Like, you were winning when you shouldn't have won.
And that's
even though I love those movies.
I mean,
it's
Oscar,
like
that's a classic too.
You know, he won a Golden Globe for the first Sherlock Holmes movie because, well, one, they can be bought, and he bought that award back then.
I mean, but bro, that's still a classic. That first one, I don't remember the second one that much.
I'm saying, like, the whole point of the Golden Globes is they take bribes, and he bribed the fuck out of them. Him and Joel Silver bribed the fuck out of them. So
you don't think it was the studios?
Joel Silver was the producer. I think he was like, you give this. I mean, based on Joel Silver being fired from Roadhouse and then other movie he was producing for Prime Video, Joel Silver's like, you give this guy this fucking award, and I'll give you a shit ton of fucking money. And they're like, okay.
Isn't that 2 weeks from now, Roadhouse?
Yep, it's next. No, it's next week. It's next Friday.
We gotta add that to the list.
We'll be tapping in. Roadhouse.
That too. What they said on Family Guy, Roadhouse.
But yes, that's what I'm saying. Roadhouse. But I mean, it's good for Robert Downey Jr. It just caps off a great career. I mean, but him saying he needed this, I'm like, no, you didn't. You have an HBO show coming out this year.
He did need it, bro. Well, see, he needed this. It's because the thing is, he still considers himself as an actor, which he is.
How many actors don't have Oscars already?
But with him,
Matt Damon,
bro, it's a 17 year, damn near 17 year of me playing one character that people know me across the world for. Now with me, yeah, hell yeah, hey, Disney, yeah, that check clear, that 20 mil, cool, good looking. Y'all can call me motherfucker Tony Starks, all y'all want. Iron Man, Mr. Starks, whoever. Bro, I'm getting 20 mil a movie. I don't give a fuck about no actor. But with him, he did, but he took it as if I'm gonna be an actor for this character, and they got me in a 360. Well, I can't say it's a 360 deal, but I got him in a 360 deal. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He did the reverse Koch records on him.
Yeah,
but I will say with him, he's always been considered an actor because of his pops. That's the reason why the documentary came out last year. It wasn't because he wanted to put his pops over. I'm not gonna believe that shit. It's to say, hey, you see the lineage.
It was a little bit of both. It was, I think he was trying to say, this is why I am the way I am at the same time.
And that's putting himself over.
Yeah, well, that's everyone in Hollywood. We'll get to Bradley Cooper in a minute.
Do we?
But I'm just saying, like, the Robert Downey Jr. thing was, you don't need this when you already had your comeback by being the biggest star of the biggest franchise of the last 20 years. And all those movies combined with his name at the top billing, that's the comeback right there. This award about validate you as an actor, like you're saying, like a lot of the greatest actors don't have Oscars or only have one.
But you got to think about the ego.
Mm-hmm.
Think about his ego. It's like, damn, if I went out today, people just know me as Tony Starks. That's why he said he needed it, so people could be like, "Oh, he's an actor."
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. His ego.
But you can already tell he was an actor because no one else could have brought that character to life like he did, and they'll never be able to recast that character because, much like Hugh Jackman, he's seen as that character so much that no one will ever want to try it. Compared to, like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I mean, we've had some good Jokers in terms of like, I can't say because I haven't seen the Joaquin Phoenix movie that he got his Oscar for that too. But it's just a thing where I think it's just overblown about this story and it needed to be validated. I'm glad he got it. He wanted it that bad, big, and him trying so hard, much like Bradley Cooper is trying so hard, but Bradley Cooper constantly tries so hard just to lose. I said he's the Kyle Shanahan of acting, because that's what he is at this point. He's, for A Star Is Born, he said, I'll direct, I'll sing, I'll play guitar, and I'll act. And they're like, nope, nothing for you. Maestro, he's like, I'll direct, I'll conduct, I'll put makeup on, I'll age myself with this makeup, I'll wear prosthetics, all of that. And they're like, nope, no Oscar for you. This was after, years already of just being the guy who acts in David O. Russell movies and walks away with nothing. And now that he's putting himself in the position to get these Oscars, it's not looking out. Like, they'll never reward him for trying so hard. And Emma Stone got her second Oscar. I haven't seen Poor Things yet. But Hollywood loves it because Emma Stone tries hard, but she doesn't make a show of it because she's that talented already. She is that funny already. She can be that dramatic of an actress already. She can do things that people don't expect her to. And she seems regular. So she seems like a regular person who happens to be famous versus Bradley Cooper, who, when you're that handsome and that talented, it's almost a burden. And I think they should. Good.
He's a mark for the business, as we seen when he was inside the actor studio. So he's just happy to be there. Like it's messing with him because he like.
I'm not happy to be there. He's showing I did all this because this is what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah, but no, you're right about that. But he's I'm saying in a way he's happy to be there just because he's a mark for the business. But eventually, it's going to get to a breaking point where if he doesn't win when he does his next project, he's going to start to feel like he's being like buried because he's such a mark. Yeah,
because he doesn't do his lack of projects the last couple of years. I think is him trying to focus on singular projects to the point where he can become an award winner. And I think they realize that, even though it still shows he has the voice of Rocket Raccoon in between these credits of A Star Is Born, Maestro, it's still like, that Hollywood still sees that. It is special. Yeah, Hollywood still sees it as like, you're doing that for money so you can justify doing these last movies. And it's seen his movie and being like, no, we know what you're trying to do. We don't fall for it.
Yeah. So that's what it is. And then he,
despite having actual talent.
Yeah, but I think it works in the case because at this point it's weird. People, let me elaborate. Because Marvel Disney essentially is the business. Shit, that's really Hollywood right there. If you want to keep it a buck, because they got more money than Hollywood. But the problem is old Hollywood. You got these 90, 100 plus year old white cast directors who still go off that old thing. Well, back in my day, we would kind of take the ass and we'll put them in a movie like Margaret Thatcher. But they frown upon that if you can really act for you going to get a job. That's how weird Hollywood is. If I go get a job or make a job for myself, it's frowned upon with the old Hollywood tradition because you got to come through us and then you got to pay us because we your agents and we your agents that go through these old Hollywood dudes that book you. So for him to actually put this project out on his own merits, I actually had to go do these Rocket Raccoon Marvel movies to get the money, you stupid motherfuckers, to actually invest into this. But it's frowned upon that he did that. In the case of Robert Downey, because he is Hollywood royalty, it worked out for him later on. But he still has that asterisk in the old Hollywood matter of you did those Marvel movies. Ugh, that's not really acting.
It's the way of for Bradley Cooper. Like I said when I talked about Maestro last year, was he took A Star Is Born because Clint Eastwood was attached to direct it for a number of years and then finally gave up on it. And Clint Eastwood is like one of Bradley Cooper's heroes. So he said, I'll do it, I'll write it, direct it, and star in it. And then Maestro, it was supposed to be a Scorsese movie and then a Spielberg movie. And then both of those guys said, we don't have the time for it. Bradley Cooper. And I think Spielberg told Bradley Cooper, like, you should do it. And that's when like he's forcing himself into roles because Hollywood legends are saying, it's you. Believe in yourself, do it. And it's like, no. I think that's the other thing being held against him versus Robert Downey Jr. Like, they knew he was doing Iron Man for the money. And he had done, like, Due Date, The Judge, the John Favreau movie Chef, to justify. He did the Jamie Foxx All-Star Weekend movie that we'll never see,
which is weird.
and that's probably and that's probably why he won his Oscar, because that movie will never come out. Otherwise, they wouldn't have awarded him for that. But yeah, it's funny how you see the game played all these ways. And Bradley Cooper should have won. Maestro is a good movie. It's not better than Oppenheimer, and he's not better than Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer. I mean, his performance is good, but it's someone trying so hard. Versus Cillian Murphy is. I mean, they're both playing real life people. They both have the cheat code too, so that's the thing. Like I always say, when you play the real life guy, you got the cheat code.
And with Bradley Cooper, to me, he plays the same person in every movie. I'm a tall, handsome white guy. Even when I'm not B.A. Baracus, but 18, I'm the same thing. The David O. Russell movie that I love. I haven't seen it in years, but I love it. It's the same thing. It's like the way his delivery is. It's like, dude, kind of the same character because your cadence and delivery is the same thing. I think he felt like that for his entire career up until Maestro, and then he thought the Maestro was going to put him over, but he had to realize that again, you're going against this movie that wasn't supposed to make as much money as it did. And Christopher Nolan, who they finally were like, damn, we got to go ahead and pass the ball to him and let him shoot, bro. Because if not, he going to keep on doing the same thing over and over. And essentially, Warner Brothers gave him the key, as we talked about this past summer. Yeah, bro, they about to build him a spaceship now.
No, remember he left Warner Brothers to go make Oppenheimer at Universal. But the rumor is he might be going back to Warner Brothers because they feel like they made an error.
Hey, bro, we was tripping, bro. Hey, that wasn't even me, man. That was Caitlin. Who was Caitlin? Don't even worry about it. They ain't here no more. Yeah, we was tripping. Can you make us another movie?
Because this is how we'll end this week's episode with the news of the Batman 2 being delayed, which this isn't my prediction. This isn't my prediction coming through.
I think everyone
remembers in the first 10 episodes or so, I said that Robert Pattinson would be one and done as Batman based on all the onset troubles that were going on and the stories that were kind of set of like his difficulty with the role. COVID already was slowing it down. That was the biggest issue, was COVID. But it did seem like he was not taking to the role like obviously was projected. If we're being honest, like the weird guy is having a hard time playing Batman. I'm not surprised at all. But the movie comes out, it's great. And we're all looking forward to the sequel. And obviously, the two strikes is what delayed this film. The actor strike and the writer strike last year is what delayed it. I think he probably is coming back as Batman. He also is the good star of Adam McKay's next movie, which has Robert Downey Jr. in it. So I don't know when that plans to film as well. And that movie's a bigger ensemble. So his scenes can probably film at different times when he's not filming the Batman. It's just a matter of trying to film those two movies one after the other. But we're also still supposed to have the Penguin show this year. There's a whole lot of stuff up in the air that's DC and Warner Brothers related that we'll get to at a later date. But are you really devastated that you have to wait an extra year for this to come out, or no? Given that we don't even know what the premise is going to be.
Matt Reeves don't know what it's about. If this was inevitable, just because they said he just started writing the script.
Yeah.
Like even Jeffrey Wright was like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson just haven't been speaking. Nobody else has really been speaking.
Well, he's having a child.
Yeah, so it's just like, I'll say this, like, and I left a voice note for Black Variant for this upcoming episode. I don't think a sequel was needed. Do I want one? Yeah. Do I need one? No, because they got another Batman movie coming out as well. You're going to start confusing the consumers because every 5 years it's a new Batman movie with a new cast half the damn time. It's like, cool, y'all kind of told the story already. Unless it's something relating to him going to Arkham and staying in there like the video games, all right, cool. My thing is what we want. What Bautista said, give me what I want. What we really want, they not giving it to us, pause. And that's Michael Keaton, that's old Batman and Batman Beyond. Everybody at least once a month said, bro, just make Batman.
No. They gave y'all that movie last year. It was called The Flash, and y'all got hyped off a shitty trailer. That was the Batman Beyond movie right there.
No, sir.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, because it was Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito were acknowledging him as Batman. Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't even his fucking villain.
That's what threw me off. I was like, what? I thought I took my crazy pills when that happened. I was like, wait a minute, what? Okay, I wasn't tripping.
At that moment, I'm like, they're not even the same movie.
It's like, it's a huge gap in between time. And then besides that, I mean, but you see Michael Keaton just put on the face. He kayfabed it.
Yeah.
There go old Bruce Wayne right there. That and there go old Bruce Wayne right there. He don't want to be a scrub no more. You feel me? Don't go chasing waterfalls. That's what he was saying. But it's like, dude, that's the movie right there. And then besides that, going back to the Batman 2, it's not needed. We got this other movie coming out.
I disagree. I think it's needed because the way the first one ends. It does have a great ending, though.
This was what I'll say, and I left a voice note about it. How it ended, it didn't leave it as an open ending. Yeah, the city is frozen. You can kind of end the movie on that, and then
that's why I mean, it's a sequel is needed because like now Gotham is really going to become the place as we know in the comics, like where the villain, like he has now created the villains. So how's he going to reckon with creating this damage and him trying to clean it up? The Selena story is what has the good ending, and which is why for the story they told in that movie, we wouldn't need a sequel to pick that up again. I don't think it should be brought back for this because that story is so long further. It's time to start something new. But the James Gunn Batman is something I don't want. I don't want the Batman with me in the movie because James Gunn wants that.
It's a new story, dude. It's a new story.
I agree. That's the first point to be made. Is why it should happen.
That's why I'm saying we don't need a Batman too, because you got a new story. We done seen this, dog. It's only so many times you could put Coca-Cola inside the Henny or vice versa, bro. It's only so many times I can have the same drink over and over before I'm like, damn, can we mix this with something else? Or can I get a different liquor? It's the fact of we've seen the same various story told in different iterations, video games, comics, etc. So the movie isn't needed. But that James Gunn version, I think, is needed because, like you said, it's the father and son dynamic. It's James Gunn telling a new story. I think that's more necessary. And then at the end of the day, again, give us the fucking Batman Beyond movie.
That's what it is.
It ain't that hard to tell.
No, there was that tweet 3 weeks ago where the artist, one of the artists on Spider-Verse, leaked his concept art, and it was fucking amazing. And he said Warner Brothers said, we can't make this right now. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't make this right now? Look at all the shit you are making.
They got King Kong with a fucking gauntlet.
Yeah.
Dropping in 2 weeks. And y'all tell me y'all can't get this out? That movie is about to draw $1.
They have a Tom Cruise movie in the works. They have a Leo DiCaprio movie in the works, I think. Because I think the P.T.A. Anderson, the Paul Thomas Anderson and is Warner Brothers release, but you can't afford to make this.
Thank you. That's probably cheaper than those movies, bro. It's gonna be.
No, I bet it would be pretty expensive. I bet it probably because again, I think it would be the Spider-Verse, which is a costly animated.
It'll be cheaper than King Kong versus Godzilla because, again, why?
The blending of CGI and shit versus, yeah.
Like, bro, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch the bootleg of that shit.
I still really didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch the bootleg. That's how bad that shit look.
But we'll be back again. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that. Davis, that's Bank. We thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next time.
We tired, boss.